Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Should we keep going on without motivation? Obviously, yes, in some points, but at the same time, no. So, first of all, we use the term motivation in our day to day life as the wanting to be productive. When we don't have the desire of wanting to do something that's productive, then that's a loss of motivation. Then we have to get ourselves motivated in order to do things. When we don't have the desire to be productive, we have to get motivated by doing what? By reasoning, by reminders. Quick excuse, I'm not sure what excuse means in English. I'm just going to say quick disclaimer, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, wait a second. Let me show you with a model how dopamine works. I'm very clumsy, so okay. This is scary. Yeah, this is how much water? A bit more than a liter. I'm using my phone as a microphone. I'm just going to put it away. So if you hear my voice from a different direction, that's why. Anyways, I'm just gonna speak a bit loudly. I hope that'll help you. Like this glass full. This is your daily intake of dopamine. And let's say this glass is full of making your bed, doing the laundry, doing your homework, helping your mom, whatever, all these things. But then you do something stupid. Okay, maybe it's not stupid. No, it is stupid. You binge watch and you scroll for hours, okay? And then what your body does is this. Yeah. So as you can see, I spilled some water on me. Actually, that was not my goal. So your body realizes this cup is not enough for your daily intake. Now you started binge watching and now you started scrolling for hours and you started feeding yourself so much dopamine. Your body is just like, this cup right here, this is not enough. I have to get a bigger cup to fit all the dopamine inside. And then this is what happens. You get a bigger glass. This was what made you happy before. And if we get this glass and put the same amount inside the other glass, you see there's a bit left over there. So you're not satisfied, you're not happy. So you start making bad habits, such as scrolling, as I said. And without scrolling, you always have the space left you see right here. So your body, when you build that habit of scrolling, you scroll every day, until one day you're like, no, I'm just gonna stop scrolling. And then for a while, you only get this happy. You don't get full satisfaction. For you to decrease the capacity, you have to also decrease your dopamine intake. And for that, the first few times, it will be hard, but no one told you that it would be easy, okay? But فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا, with hardship comes ease. What does our body do if we take this amount of dopamine, for an example, like for a few weeks? Our body also adapts to that amount. Our body is like, okay, now we decreased our amount of dopamine we're taking, so we'll also decrease the capacity, because this is sufficient for us. This is enough for us. This is the dopamine intake this is the dopamine we take to us daily. So why don't we just make it to the norm? Why don't we just adapt ourselves to it? And then the body just kind of adapts to it. I understood it, so maybe you didn't understand it, but like, I hope with this model you could understand it in a better way. And by the way, I'm not a person who has looked into biology a lot or something. No, I am just a random girl, and being addictions, discipline, and psychology and dopamine, these things kind of interest me. So I just sometimes watch videos about psychology and these stuff, but I never sit down and read a book about it. I would love to one day. May Allah guide me to read a book about psychology, but I just can't find the right book. Anyways, this is really random, but if you have book recommendations for me about psychology, leave it down into the comments or whatever. Anyways, thank you very much. So when you reduce your dopamine intake, your dopamine capacity kind of also reduces, which leads you over time to feel the same amount of happiness as you did before with binge watching those videos, and actually even more happy, because then you don't have the guilt feeling that you used to have. And that's why it is easier for people who already have a low dopamine intake, aka low dopamine capacity. That's why it is easier for them to do things that might be impossible at the moment for other people, such as running a marathon, or even just doing your bed, or just studying, these kinds of things. It also goes the other way around. When someone who it is not natural for us humans to get so much dopamine from healthy things. Of course, there is love, and there is, that's like different. Anyways, but normally we don't, it is not natural for us humans to get so much dopamine without achievement. And with achievement, I'm not just saying studying and getting A's, or doing work and earning some money. I'm also talking about love. Love is also an achievement. So it also automatically goes the other way around. I'm sorry, I know my accent changes, but I recently watched Harry Potter, so yeah, sometimes I really want to talk with British accent because I love the way it sounds. But sometimes when I try to speak British, it just doesn't sound like British. Anyways, I'm just going to stick to American, I guess. So back to my point. For people who don't have a high daily dopamine intake, they also don't feel natural. They also don't like it to binge scroll. It's too loud for them. So there are people in my surroundings, and they put muscled men in their story, and these men are like, even when you have no motivation, that's the moment where you have to keep going. But actually, that's biologically impossible. Like, with zero motivation, biologically, that's impossible. What they mean is probably when you have low motivation, because I just wanted to clear this in this video. There's no motivation. There's just low motivation, or little bit motivation, and that's what I wanted to clear. So you reduce the amount of dopamine you take. You don't just zero it. Without dopamine, we would not even be breathing. Why did I even say this right now? Anyways, I forgot what I just... Their low motivation, you know what that is? They're actually, when these people say, when you have low motivation, that's the moment you should keep on going. That's motivation. Your reason to keep on going is because other people stop in that moment. Because that's when you have no energy, so you keep on striving because you want to be stronger. You want to cross your limits, That's your motivation. Your motivation is kind of your self-love, what you think about yourself, your identity, that is your motivation. You're like, I'm a person who can do this, and if I don't do this, then I'm disappointed in myself. That's how it feels. And that low motivation, I'll just count some reasons I wrote down. Could be spiritual beliefs, reason, goals, or even just the fact that they aren't motivated. That's what I was just saying. So they're having fun by pushing their limits. That's literally how it works for some people. And also, when the results start to show, then it is really easy, because then they have more reasoning, they have more reason, so their motivation is higher. Sometimes that motivation leads people to achieve a lot, and when they see the achievements, the dopamine they get from seeing the achievements is so much that they can be addicted to being successful. And when they fail, then they crush really hard. It is not about the results. Keep in mind, it is not about the results. It is how hard you've been struggling. And you will never, wallahi, billahi, you will never know how much someone is struggling, even though they may just be able to show the smallest results you've ever seen in your whole entire life. You don't know how much someone is struggling. Like, you can't know. So what did we learn? We can't survive without dopamine. We just have to push through the time where our body adapts to the new dopamine intake we decided to take. That sounds easy, but oh boy, it is not. I'll just leave you with that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a great day or night. And please don't do anything today that will make you end up regretting it. Of course, if you do, Allah is Ghafurur Rahim, Ar-Rahman, Al-Wadud, As-Sabur. But he's also Al-Haq. So don't take anyone's rights. Assalamu alaikum.